Hey, how you doing? Justin here to talk about your lesson 13 practice routine. We're still at 30 minutes and we're going to start off with 5 minutes of repertoire revision. Now you can choose whatever you like. You continue doing the fingerstyle, you could be doing the power chords, you could be doing songs that we did way earlier in the course. Find a song to practice for 5 minutes, or find a couple of songs, or dip into a few. Doesn't really matter. It's a bit about warming up and it's about keeping things fresh in your mind, songs that you want to play. First thing in the new work is 2 minutes working on your dominant seventh chords. I suspect you're going to find the E and the A and the D and the G relatively simple. Most people will find the C7 and the B7 the most tricky. So you're probably going to find most of your time is working on those. Starting off with the first few practice sessions, you just want to be memorizing the chord shape, remembering what lifts off or what goes on, and then making sure all of the notes in the chord are ringing clearly. Then you could incorporate maybe some 1 minute changes-y kind of thing. You could either alter your routine to include 1 minute changes, or just do the 1 minute changes, or perfect fast changes, whatever variation you particularly respond with. But just working on changes, probably a good ones would be like G7 and C7 would be a nice one, and E7 to B7 will be, probably the chord changes that you'll find have the most benefit. But it is a little bit, of course, up to you and what you're finding easy and difficult. You might find that you're still doing the rest of the practice routine, but you're confident with the chords, in which case just move the 2 minutes from here into practicing something else. Okay, so put a bit of extra time into doing the improvising if you're enjoying that or whatever. At this stage, you definitely should be confident to adapt a routine to fit what you want to practice or what you're enjoying. Enjoying it is the most important thing. So figure out ways of keeping your practicing interesting and doing the stuff that you enjoy and that you need to practice. Don't practice things that you're already good at, that you're like, yeah, I know this, but I'll do it anyway because it's on the routine. If you know how to do it, then just move on and put the extra time into something that you're struggling with. We're then going to have 2 minutes practicing a 12-bar blues in the key of G. So you probably want to be doing a slow change there in the key of G, because the chord changes to the G7 are a little bit more complicated. But you might also go, well, actually, they're a bit more complicated. I need more practice on it, so I'll do a quick change there. So have a go at doing a slow change, have a go at doing a quick change, have a go at doing a standard. Blues in the key of G, using all seventh chords. G7, C7, and D7 are the chords in the key of G. Then you're going to have 2 minutes doing a blues in the key of E, which will be E7, A7, and B7. Again, you want to be experimenting, do a slow change, a quick change, standard 12-bar blues, of course. Mostly you're going to be working on that shuffle rhythm, so that as well as actually just getting the chords right, you're really working on trying to get that shuffle rhythm down, up, down, up, down, trying to make it feel good, trying to absorb that feeling. Again, listening really important. If you're not listening, you're not going to get your shuffle feeling great. Okay, don't be afraid as well of, if you find the shuffle's not working, of just muting the strings up and doing it. Spending a bit of your practice time, instead of just spending it on the chords, if you're struggling most with the rhythm, knock the chords on the head for a couple of sessions and just work on trying to get that feeling good. Trying to get that shuffle worked in. Okay, it's really, really important. I've then scheduled you for 3 minutes practicing the set solo in A. Okay, just running through it exactly as written. As I said to you, I think you should practice it as written first of all, but don't get hung up on it. As soon as you feel ready, start improvising or playing around with it. Make it your own. That's totally cool. There's no one's going to be watching you. No, you played the note of the third bar wrong. Yeah, whatever, man. It's a blues. Play it as you like. I've then scheduled you for 3 minutes of improvising in the key of A. Okay, you use whatever backing track you like if it's a blues in A. Okay, lots of different feels, different tempos, doesn't matter. You can be doing the backing track kind of vibe for the set solo, and starting with the set solo and meddling with it a little bit and seeing if you can use it as a basis to explore other things. Or you could be doing completely different tempos, different styles of blueses. Doesn't really matter, okay? Just improvise is the set thing. I've then scheduled you for 3 minutes of the blues shuffle. So playing the 12-bar blues, again, doesn't really matter. You might want to start with slow change and then work on to standard and then work into quick change if you like. Doesn't matter. But working on that shuffle, trying to get the do do trying to get that real nice shuffle going in there with the notes. That's a really, really important thing. If you ever forget, think of chunka, 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 ch, with the ch for chunka as being on the beat. Chunka, 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 chunka. Really good way to remember it, I think. You've then got 10 minutes of song work. Now, I was mostly doing, or Nitsudge was doing, Before You Accuse Me by Eric Clapton, because it's a great one in the key of E, and you're using the chunka chunka, but a bit of the B7, which was the awkward chord. He also was doing Keep Your Hands to Yourself, George Thorogood. Not George Thorogood, what am I talking about? Who Keep Your Hands to Yourself? Georgia Satellites. Sorry, Georgia Satellites. There, fantastic tune. Again, it's a little bit more kind of rocky blues, but it's a good one, and it's one that I remembered learning way back in the day. So it was just like, oh yeah, that song, I remember that. But find blueses that you like, songs that you know, songs that you like. They can be more modern blues or older stuff. It really doesn't matter, as long as you're working the feeling of that shuffle. You could be doing any sort of blueses that you like, but do try and memorize the patterns. And even though these last couple of lessons are kind of tasters of things to come, I would recommend that you've memorized the 12-bar blues set patterns, the three that we've talked about, the standard, quick change, and slow change. What's the order of the chords, and that you can play them in a couple of different keys. That would be a really good thing to have nailed down for this. There's no set thing on the improvising. It'd be good to have learnt the set solo, but you don't have to move on. But have had a go at blues improvising, I think, would be a really good thing. And for sure, you should have memorized your dominant seventh chords, because that's not just a blues thing. They're going to come up all over the place. So they're definitely something that you want to add to your repertoire bag. So look, I really hope you enjoy this lesson. Please let me know how you're getting on with it, what you're loving and what you're not. And I'll see you for another lesson, the last lesson of grade 2. Very soon. You'll take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.